I'd like to introduce to you Sister Ora Williams.
Chairman Mao says that a revolutionary should have largeness of mind, and he should be staunch and active, looking upon the interests of the revolution as his very life, and subordinating his personal interests to those of the revolution, always and everywhere. He should adhere to principles and wage a tireless struggle against all incorrect ideas and actions. He should be more concerned about the party and the masses than about any individual, be it mother, wife, or child, and more concerned about others than himself. Only then can he be considered a true revolutionary. You have a 5-week-old daughter, Kiana Malik, who has been instilled with revolutionary principles. This was inborn in her from revolutionary parents through practice in a revolutionary environment. She was born a revolutionary and will die one, the first of a new generation whose minds will not be conditioned by this power structure. Victory to the people, victory is ours. All power to the people, and long live the Minister of Defense.
Sister Merlane Dixon, Doctor of Sociology, UCLA.
The Radical Women's Liberation Movement was created by an international revolutionary movement and is part of it. As a very great woman, assassinated by the German government as a dangerous revolutionary, Rosa Luxemburg, once said, "The history of revolutionary struggle is a history of failure, but you only need to win once, and we shall. All power to the people."
We have a telegram that I'd like to read to you. It's from the Tokyo Communist League. It's dated July 19th, 1969. Communist League sends strong solidarity on behalf of Japanese militants, revolutionary workers, and students. We must together establish our proletarian dictatorship to combat and destroy fascism, imperialism. Our struggle should be a violent one to resist and destroy the violence of establishment power. We proletariat of the brown nations must form a practical link with the struggle for liberation in the third world, eventually to win in the struggle for world revolution. Our next speaker is Field Marshal from the Black Panther Party, Field Marshal Don Cox.
Huey P. Newton says, the racist dog police must withdraw from the black community or face the wrath of the armed people. The Black Panther Party has a motto. It is a quote by Chairman Mao Zedong of the Chinese Communist Party. We are the advocates of the abolition of war. We do not want war, but war can only be abolished through war. In order to get rid of the gun, it is necessary to pick up the gun. Power to the people.
Right on. All the Panthers know where political power comes from.
You see him about it? Now, you gonna arrest him? You're insulting him. You gonna arrest him? You gonna arrest him? Go ahead, Hewitt. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hewitt. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right.
In an effort to create a stronger bond between students and workers, a panel of rank-and-file trade union activists were featured on the Revolutionary Conference program.
Brother Kenny Harston, who is the director of the Black Panther Caucus at UAW, Tremont, California. And he's also a very active brother of the Black Panther Party. Kenny Harston.
What I want to say at this time is that the life and death struggle with reformism will begin. It has begun. How this struggle will end will depend on how completely the masses shake free of the present reformist leadership and put up militant resistance. Fascism will be our punishment tomorrow if we let pass the hour of socialism. Thank you.
Clearly, no reform or progress within the American system is sought. The goal is total socialism, communism.
Next speaker will be Barbara Vacan from the Revolutionary Workers Union in Richmond, California.
Vietnam is the spearhead and the proof of that imperialism is being driven into a corner, that it's on the defensive, that it's on the decline, it's on the way out. And we have to understand that the proletarian forces like the Black Panther Party already are taking the lead in forging a united front which will not only beat back fascism but can actually overthrow the imperialist system. Now, SDS and other forces that we work with is proposing for this fall a fall action around the war in Vietnam to revive the united front against the imperialist war in Vietnam and to force the imperialists out. And one of the key components of that must be working class organization and actions against the war in Vietnam.
Have you ever asked yourself why we have had increasing trouble with discipline in our armed forces? Listen closely to the chairman of the American Servicemen's Union and you will understand.
Okay, I'm going to run down some stuff tonight about the GI revolts and rebellions that have been going on in the U.S. Army over the last year, the organizing drive that we're undertaking. The ASU is playing a leading role in this fight, in this organizing drive. We have chapters of the American Servicemen's Union on 60 large military installations in the United States and 40 overseas. Just as the Bolshevik Party organized through the Soviets in 1917 against the Tsar and the oppression in Russia, the American Servicemen's Union is organizing Soviets within the U.S. imperialist army. The only line that's going to lead to victory, and revolution is a proletarian line in the army. And they know that whoever can command the allegiance of the rank and file troops, that command is going to be decisive in revolution or counter-revolution. And right now, the American Servicemen's Union is building an army within an army, a workers' militia inside the U.S. Army. And along with the Panthers and others, we're going to make that revolution. Power to the people.
We are going to wind this session up tonight with national committees, plural, to combat fascism. Many wants to talk about how can we create the new party, the new mass people's party, the new workers' party, what have you, or however you want to phrase it. I think you should phrase it. Yes, we should create a party. The Black Panther Party says yes. You damn right we need to parallel an American Liberation Front in America. And we say that needs to be done. And we're saying that we have some guns to deal with fascism, but let's start with the community control of police. If you don't want to deal with the guns, let's start dealing with the community control of police. Petition, let's move it. Let's defend the political prisoners. Power to the people.
On September 5th, 1969, Angela Davis, after being hired as a philosophy professor at UCLA, first admitted she was a member of the Communist Party, USA.
Now, I think that the real reason that they're firing me is not only because of my membership in the Communist Party, but because I have tried to involve myself as much as I could in the black liberation struggle in this country. I worked with SNCC, with the Black Panthers, and with the BSU when I was a student down in UCSC, the university campus at San Diego.
I think we have enough trouble on campuses. The woman is an admitted member of the Communist Party. She also, in her letter to Chancellor Young, indicated that she felt that the only way we could bring about the social change that's necessary today is through violence and militancy. I don't think we need that on campus.
The vice chairman of the Black Students Union of UCLA admitted, and I quote, "Many black leaders to whom black people look as symbols have been connected directly or indirectly with the Communist Party." The UCLA figure most instrumental in hiring Miss Davis last spring was Professor Donald Kalish, chairman of UCLA's philosophy department. Kalish, since 1965, has been extremely active in the anti-Vietnam War movement, anti-police activities, and a variety of other causes agitated by the communists. Professor Kalish has boldly declared,
many of the young people I work with regularly belong to this branch of the Communist Party, that branch of the Communist Party, to progressive labor, which is probably far to the left of the Communist Party. I'm far to the left of the Communist Party.
What kind of civilization is being offered by communists and other leftists? Would it be better than that which we now have? This is a vitally important question. Millions of American youth are being courted and beckoned, agitated and incited to take violent actions against the American system, to throw it all overboard. But for what? What is to be the replacement? The best the revolutionaries can point to are the China of Mao Zedong, the North Vietnam of Ho Chi Minh, the Cuba of Fidel Castro, the Soviet Union of Lenin. What have these totalitarian dictatorships brought to their people? Have they brought the promised democratic freedom and the economic paradise for the workers? They have not. Instead, they have established dictatorships over the proletariat, the working people, rather than of the proletariat. And in the highest developed communist country, the Soviet Union, living standards are still about 1/4 of the American standard. The new left revolutionaries have accused you, the people of the United States, of being fascist. By dictionary definition, fascists subscribe to a highly centralized system of government which exercises absolute control over its people, imposing strict censorship and suppressing all opposition. Is this a picture of the United States or of Red China, North Vietnam, Cuba, and the Soviet Union and its satellites? The fascists we have to fear and unite against are SDS, Black Panthers, and all communists who demand a totalitarian system. You see, there is very little difference between communism and fascism. They are both totalitarian systems which share an officially prescribed, all-embracing ideology which has a supposed answer for everything, a correct attitude toward every aspect of human existence.
The people who will be speaking on this panel, they were chosen because of their correct practice. She's armed with correct theory and practice.
The red book is my Bible, the gun is my staff. Chairman Mao says he should adhere to principles and wage a tireless struggle against all incorrect ideas and actions.
And as Comrade Mao Tse-tung says,
the Black Panther Party has a motto. It is a quote by Chairman Mao Tse-tung of the Chinese Communist Party.
The young revolutionaries want to destroy our educational system, but they don't tell us that in communist countries, the state dictates and directs the education of its youth according to what it believes are the needs of the state. There is no such thing as special privilege for the education of minority groups, and many black students brought to the Soviet Union from Africa have quit and returned to their homes in disgust because of the discrimination practiced against them. No group should be allowed to plunder, riot, and terrorize our educational institutions and impose its will upon a majority of students who go to college to study and learn. Will it take a national disaster of monumental proportions before the public wakes up to the enemy within, now operating with impunity? Must a free society allow itself to be destroyed because of the very freedoms it defends? For the students of this land, and for all of us, understanding and finding ways to expose, neutralize, and overcome the communist threat is not a political issue. It is a matter of national survival.
You're in the bullseye of the communists' target number one. And yet, our cause and our country can never be defeated unless we ourselves fail to uphold it. And that can never be as long as we act like Americans. And remember these words: I will never forget that I am an American fighting man, responsible for my actions and dedicated to the principles which made my country free. I will trust in my God and in the United States of America.